I just felt entitled to it as well. It was just dysfunctional from day one.
As kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I try to do those things.
And young boys back there all naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking about Boosie.
So there's been a lot of chatter lately claiming Gabrielle Union and Dwyane Wade allegedly have an open marriage. And not just in the casual see other people sense. The rumors go further, suggesting the couple may be involved in swinging, and this time it's not just random Twitter speculation. Jaguar Wright has stepped forward with claims that the Wades host private adults-only gatherings at their home, where Hollywood insiders mix with much younger men. According to Jaguar, she's spoken to multiple young men in the industry who say they personally witnessed things at these parties that made them uncomfortable and raised serious questions about what really goes on behind closed doors. She alleges these events are tightly controlled, invite-only, and designed to keep everything discreet. To be clear, none of this has been proven, and the Wades have not addressed the claims publicly. Still, the consistency of the rumors has people talking and questioning the carefully curated image the couple presents to the public.
I'm saying that because of the artist that I just spoke to not that long ago that got invited to a party at their house. Everything was cool up front till they went to the back and there was a bunch of old and young boys back there all naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking about Boosie.
Jaguar even went a step further, claiming that after the Will and Jada entanglement situation exploded publicly, those same Hollywood party scenes allegedly shifted locations. According to her, once the Smith household became too scrutinized, the gatherings were moved to what she describes as a safer, quieter environment at the Wade residence. She alleges the change was strategic, meant to keep things off the radar while maintaining the same inner circle energy. Jaguar says the people involved didn't disappear, they just relocated, adapting to the new reality of public attention. Again, these claims are based entirely on her statements and secondhand accounts she says were shared with her, not on verified evidence. Neither Gabrielle Union nor Dwyane Wade has addressed or acknowledged these allegations, and no proof has been made public. Still, the idea that powerful circles simply shift locations rather than change behavior has fueled even more speculation online, especially among those who already believe Hollywood protects its own behind closed doors.
They ain't doing as much, I guess, now because they're getting older. I guess it just moved over to the Wade house.
Here's the thing. The rumors surrounding Dwyane Wade's sexuality and private life didn't just appear overnight, but it's important to frame all of this as allegations, not established facts. Back in 2010, Wade's former business partner, Richard Von Houtman, made claims about allegedly walking into Wade's apartment after parties and finding it in disarray. He described scenes he said included used condoms, empty bottles, and signs of frequent gatherings, stating these events happened multiple times a week. Richard also alleged the parties continued even after Wade began dating Gabrielle Union, claiming she was aware or involved, though none of this has been independently verified. Around the same period, during Wade's divorce from his first wife, Sio Von Funches, she alleged he gave her an STD, a claim that became part of their contentious legal battle. Years later, Wade also spoke publicly about experimenting with wearing his sister's clothes as a child, which he framed as empathy for his daughter's journey. While some view that moment as openness, others have used it to fuel speculation. None of these claims have been proven, and Wade and Union have not substantiated them.
When it hit my doorstep at 3 years old, like I said, when me and my wife looked at each other, right? And the reason we looked at each other is because of this, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I try to do those things. So at first I said to myself, oh no, I did that. So I ain't just doing the things that I did. And then it kept going further and further. And then me and my wife had to look at each other and say, well, what if? And at that moment, everything that I was taught went out the window because now I'm a parent. And my sole job and my sole responsibility is to make sure that this kid grow up knowing that it's supported and is loved.
And do y'all remember when Boosie publicly called out Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union over their decision to support Zaya's transition before she turned 18? That moment sparked a firestorm online, with Boosie accusing the couple of pushing an agenda and questioning their parenting. The backlash was immediate, and Gabrielle didn't stay quiet. She clapped back, suggesting that Boosie's fixation said more about his own unresolved identity issues than their family choices. That exchange turned a personal family matter into a culture war headline overnight. Supporters praised Weaponizing Union for standing firmly behind their child, while critics accused them of oversharing and politicizing Zaya's life. What stood out most was how fast the conversation shifted away from Zaya herself and toward adult egos, ideology, and public image. It became less about a child's well-being and more about who gets to define masculinity, parenting, and freedom in the public eye.
Be there. We will never abandon you, ever. But sometimes you're going to have to leave. And so far, so good, you know. Sorry, Boosie. He's so preoccupied.
Yeah, he is. Very much
Almost
so.
like thou doth protest too much, little Booze.
I'm gonna look.
You've got a lot of mind.
I mean, it's
Throw
like
that out there.
It's like Zaya and Lil Nas X live in his head.
For free, rent free.
Like what?
It's like, sir, something you want to just go ahead and tell us. This is a safe space. We can be your sanctuary.
Perhaps that safe space was not provided for him, and
I don't
that's
think
why.
he had a safe.
But you already knew Boosie wasn't going to stay quiet after that. He jumped straight to Twitter and went at Gabrielle, claiming she was only upset because, in his words, her husband's secret had been exposed. He mocked the idea of them being seen as a power couple and doubled down by saying people don't look at them the way they think they do. According to Boosie, Gabrielle crossed the line first by suggesting he was closeted, so he felt justified firing back to set the record straight. Things escalated fast, and his comments turned personal, crude, and deliberately provocative. What stood out to a lot of people wasn't just the shock value, but the fact that Gabrielle never publicly responded after that exchange. Her silence only fueled more conversation online, with some reading it as taking the high road, while others saw it as letting the noise die on its own. Boosie didn't stop there though. When he later sat down with Vlad TV, he tried to reframe the situation, arguing that Gabrielle was being hypocritical. His point was that you can't publicly champion LGBTQ acceptance and then turn around and use accusations about someone's sexuality as an insult when you're mad. That argument actually landed with some viewers, even people who don't normally agree with him. At that point, the drama had shifted from parenting and personal choices to a bigger debate about double standards, public image, and how celebrities weaponize identity in arguments. And once again, Weaponizing Union's family found themselves at the center of a conversation that had grown way bigger than where it started.
For her to say that, it makes her a hypocrite also.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody to talk about nothing that goes on with those situations, but you're saying somebody has mind. So if you do got on your mind, you feel some type of way about them. Baby, you a hypocrite, baby.
Oh, so she's gay bashing you, basically.
That's you gay bashing me. Are you gay bashing? You're a hypocrite. No, baby, you go look in the mirror. I was just telling her, and everything I spoke to her was from the heart, man. Like, we don't look at you as a power couple, baby.
Jaguar didn't stop there either. She went straight at Gabrielle Union over her comments about Boosie, accusing Gabrielle of projecting issues from inside her own household onto other people. According to Jaguar, when Gabrielle suggested that Boosie was the one struggling with his identity, it wasn't a clapback at all, it was deflection. Jaguar claimed that when people are deeply uncomfortable with what's happening behind closed doors, they often try to flip the spotlight onto someone else to avoid answering the harder questions about themselves. Jaguar alleged that Gabrielle's reaction made things worse, not better, because it opened the door to even more speculation. In her view, Gabrielle tried to position herself as progressive and above the mess, but ended up using sexuality as a weapon in an argument, which contradicted the image she spent years carefully building. Jaguar also implied that Hollywood couples with carefully curated brands are often the most fragile behind the scenes, and when cracks start to show, projection becomes a defense mechanism. She went on to say that this wasn't just about one Twitter exchange or one interview. To Jaguar, it was part of a larger pattern, where certain celebrities loudly present themselves as allies and role models, but react harshly when anyone even hints at their private dynamics. That tension, she claimed, is why these rumors never seem to die. Whether people believe Jaguar or not, her comments poured gasoline on an already burning conversation. Instead of shutting the rumors down, the back and forth only made more people question why Gabrielle responded the way she did in the first place, and what, if anything, she was really trying to protect.
Maybe you suspicious of him because of the shit happening in your house. Out of here. These niggas be talking greasy on all kinds of shit. But I don't like when these so-called black Hollywood couples want to come in and then they want to sit there and play gatekeeper. Meanwhile, they're abusing and misusing all kinds of young people. And guess what? Don't nobody want to admit that they a victim. So they pretend to be friends.
How she deals with criticism, rumors, and constant public speculation about her family. Gabrielle responded with her usual calm, saying that she's learned to separate noise from truth and that she no longer feels obligated to explain her life to strangers. She emphasized that her priority is protecting her peace and her household, not correcting every narrative that circulates online. According to her, public opinion shifts too fast to be worth chasing, and the people who actually know her family already understand their intentions. But for critics, that answer only added fuel to the fire. Many felt she sidestepped the core concerns rather than addressing them directly, especially when it comes to Zaya and the legal decisions made without her biological mother's consent. Online commenters argued that Gabrielle's labeling everything as noise can come across as dismissive when real legal disputes and parental disagreements are involved. To them, Gabrielle's confidence reads less like strength and more like certainty that she doesn't need to answer anyone at all. Others, however, see her stance as self-preservation. In an era where every celebrity family is dissected in real time, some fans believe Gabrielle has simply chosen not to play defense anymore. They point out that Dwyane and Gabrielle have been dealing with public scrutiny for over a decade, from relationship rumors to parenting choices, and at some point, disengaging becomes the only way to survive it. Still, the speculation hasn't slowed down. If anything, Gabrielle's refusal to engage directly keeps people talking. Whether she's genuinely unbothered or strategically silent depends on who you ask. What's clear is that the conversation around the Wades isn't going away anytime soon, and every public appearance or interview only adds another layer to a story that many believe still has unanswered questions.
How do I process criticism? It depends on the person I'm getting the criticism from. If you are someone that I respect, that I know you are looking out for my best interest, I take it for exactly what it is, and I try to see what you see. If you're somebody who, you think criticizing is the same as insulting, I don't call that criticism. I don't even receive it. I'm not open to that.
And honestly, that tracks. Gabrielle has always carried herself like someone who knows exactly what she signed up for. She's not naive at all. She's been in Hollywood long enough to understand how power couples work, how optics matter, and how silence can sometimes be the strongest strategy. That's why the recent blind items have people talking, but not exactly shocked. One blind item floating around claims Gabrielle may be quietly contemplating divorce after Dwyane was allegedly spotted on what looked like a date with someone who was not her. Then, almost immediately, other gossip blogs countered that story, saying the date may have actually been with another man. Confusing? Absolutely. Surprising? Not really. At least not the people who've been following these rumors for years. Still, most folks don't believe Gabrielle is going anywhere. She's deeply invested, emotionally, financially, and publicly. Walking away would mean unraveling an image she's helped build for over a decade. To many, this feels less like a breaking point and more like a continuation of a long-standing arrangement. The whole bad marriage for life narrative, similar to what people say about Will and Jada, keeps coming up for a reason. Are all these allegations true? No one can say for sure, but there's been enough smoke over the years to make people connect dots. Former business partners, Jaguar Wright, Dwyane's ex-wife, and very public feuds with people like Boosie have all added layers to the same story. And Gabrielle has made her stance clear. She doesn't care what outsiders think. She knew who she married, she knows the kinds of marriage she has, and she's choosing to stay. Of course, the internet has opinions. Some say she's complicit, others say she's tired but resigned. Some fans say they lost at respect for her over how she handled Dwyane's outside child, while others criticize her parenting decisions and public commentary. At the end of the day, Gabrielle seems unbothered, and that might be the loudest statement of all. But what do y'all think? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll catch you in the next video.